I want to talk to you about how to get approved for American Express with bad or fair credit. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome City Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you were to ask me, if you are doing as terrific as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to show you step by step how to get approved for American Express with bad or fair credit. The thing is, a lot of people understand that American Express is kind of tough to get. All of their cars require good to excellent credit. But in today's conversation, what I want to do is I want to show you a methodology, a proven methodology that will help you actually crack the code, so to speak. And one thing you need to understand is when we speak about bad or fair credit, we're talking about what? We're talking about now very poor. If your credit score is very poor, it means that at least for American Express, that means your FICO runs from 300 to 579. And if your credit score rather is fair, that means that your FICO score runs from 580 to 669. So if you are in those two categories, your chances of getting approved for American Express are kind of slim. All right. And the thing you have to understand is that with American Express, they not only look at your FICO score, but they also look at a whole host of other factors. Do you have a relationship with them? In other words, because American Express is a financial behemoth, as a financial giant, so they offer a lot of services. If you don't qualify for an American Express, an Amex card with a bad or fair credit, there are other services where credit worthiness is not an issue. So they look at that. So one thing you need to understand is that the American Express process can vary a bit depending on which card issuer, which depending on which card category rather you are trying to apply for, and your application may need to include your full name, date of birth, social security number, employer identification number, if this is a small business credit card, a contact information, financial information such as income, because American Express, they look at that. They look at not only your credit worthiness, your FICO score or your Vantage score, but they also pay attention to your income, because we have seen people who had poor credit, but they have a very fat checking account, a very fat savings account. So American Express was able to waive their credit worthiness criteria, and they granted them the platinum, the Amex Platinum. So financial information is very important. Your employment information is also important, including how long you've been at your current job. Okay, Amex also pays attention to your housing status and cost. So this was actually the analytical foundation of today's conversation. Now let's get into the actual nitty gritty here. There is something called card typology. In other words, the various types of American Express card that we have. And it's important because if you want to get approved for an American Express card with bad or fair credit, it is quintessential that you know the various types of cards that American Express has. And we're not going to go through the whole list here, but just know that you have the Platinum card from an American Express. This is the best for luxury travel perks. You have the Amex Gold card. This is best for dining rewards. You have the Blue Cash Everyday card from American Express, and this is best for a tiered cashback. You have the Blue Cash Preferred card from American Express. This is best for high cashback rates. We have the Amex Business Gold card, which is wonderful for small business travel. We have the Business Platinum card from Amex. This is best for luxury business travel perks. Yes. We have the Delta Sky Miles Gold Business Amex card. This is best for Delta loyal small business owners. You have the Hilton Honors Amex Surpass card. This is best for Hilton hotel stays. Yeah. You have the Delta Sky Miles Platinum Business Amex card. This is best for status chasing business travelers. And in our view, you also have the Amex Blue Business Cash card. This is best for cashback rewards for business. Why am I telling you all this? It is important to know because Amex has a very strict classification for what their card what their card will stand for and what kind of audience they're niching down on. So it's important. So as you go through the American Express website, it's important to know which card you are interested in. Okay, I want to go through the card again so you can see not through all the card, but I want you to have a visual representation of the card. So we have the platinum card from Amex. You can see on the screen here. For the credit recommended is 670 to 850. We have the Amex Gold card. Here they want you to have 670 and 850 again in terms of FICO. Then we have the Blue Cash Everyday card from Amex, 670 to 850. The Blue Cash Preferred card from Amex, 670 to 850 again. We have the Amex Business Gold card, 670 to 850 again in terms of FICO requirements. I want you to see the card on the screen. So we have the Business Platinum card from Amex, 670 to 850. We have the Delta SkyMiles Gold Business American Express card. Here the credit can run from 600 to 850. Then you have the Hilton Honors American Express Surpass card, 600 to 850. And you're going to know why I'm asking you to have a visual representation of those cards. We have the Delta SkyMiles Platinum Business American Express card, 670 to 850. And we have other cards. I'm not going to go through all the cards here, but I'll tell you why I wanted you to have a visual representation of those cards. Now, let me talk to you about something called the low-hanging fruit. So first, I showed you the card typology. When you speak about American Express credit cards, you need to have a clear understanding of which card the company has and which card can suit your financial situation. So the low-hanging fruit means that you want to really understand which card is easier for you. Okay, if you have fair credit or bad credit, you're not going to qualify, especially if you have bad credit. One thing for sure, you're not going to qualify for any American Express card unless you have a relationship with the bank, with the financial institution, unless you have a fat checking account or savings account with them. But as an everyday person like you and I mean, I don't know about your financial situation, but for an everyday Joe, if you have fair credit, there are a lot of things you can do. For example, are you looking for a card with fair or good credit? Are you looking for a business credit card from Amex? And the thing is, Amex even has a startup program. So if you have a business startup, there is a possibility for you to actually find out if a card works for you. So what I want you to do is to go through all American Express cards, and you want to see which one you may qualify for based on a constellation of factors. For example, rewards. In the rewards category, you have a lot of a lot of Amex cards. Can you qualify for one? In terms of travel options, can you qualify for one? As you know, probably if you are a Delta fan or a Delta loyal fan and you travel for business or personal, can you try to have a relationship with Delta before applying for the Amex, the Delta Amex SkyMiles? What about lifestyle? Does your lifestyle allow you to qualify for one American Amex card? What about business purchases? Do you have a sole proprietorship, or do you have a full-on business that you can actually, you can actually use the card for? So the bottom line here is that the low-hanging fruit means you're going through the card, and Amex has a lot of cards, as you probably saw, and you have to make sure that you see which one you may qualify for. Don't go for 3 or 4 or 5. You want to zero in on 1 or 2, and you want to craft a strategy that I'm going to explain to you to allow you to get approved for an American Express card, even if you have bad or fair credit. Let's talk about setting the foundation. It's important. So if you want to get approved for American Express with bad or fair credit, the first thing was what? First thing was to know the different types of card that Amex has. Second point is to go for the low-hanging fruit. The third idea is to set up the foundation. What does that mean? It means that Amex, as I explained to you, has a very, I would say, a strict layer of credit spectra. They don't want to go for people who have poor credit. So it's important for you to start improving your credit score. If you have poor credit, you want to improve your credit score. You have to understand the 5 elements that make up a credit score, right? There are 5 of them. Your payment history accounts for 35%. The amounts that you owe, in other words, your outstanding debt, will account for 30%. The length of credit history will account for 15%. So in other words, how long your credit accounts have been established, including the age of your oldest account, the age of your newest account, and an average age of all your accounts. This is why we always advise on this show that people do not close old accounts. If the account is paid off, if you owe nothing on the card, don't close it. You also, your credit mix. So the combo of credit that you have, the combo of debts, lines of credit, and other types of credit you have will account for 10%. Okay, and so FICO scores will consider your mix of credit cards, retail accounts, installment accounts, finance company accounts, and mortgage loans. Okay, and last but not the least, new credit will account for 10%. So first, you want to improve your credit score. Second, you want to remove any derogatory items. Okay, you want to fight it. You want to acquire your credit report. If there are false or inaccurate information or inaccurate reports on your credit report, you want to fight it. You want to dispute it. You can also apply with a co-signer or co-borrower. So when I'm talking about setting the foundation, I'm talking to you about trying to find ways to apply. If you have a co-signer or co-borrower who has a high credit score, in some cases, American Express will allow it. You also want to become an authorized user, if possible, on an existing Amex card. This could also help you. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweet EQ show. I'm talking to you today about how to get approved for Amex with bad or fair credit. So we spoke about the card typology. We spoke about the low-hanging fruits. We spoke about setting the foundation. Now I want to talk to you about credit score matters. Now, your credit score matters a lot when we talk about American Express, because Amex has positioned itself as a quote-unquote a card of prestige. So they're looking for folks who have already established their credit, people who are responsible with their debts. And one thing that is important is that you have to understand that beyond Amex, your credit score matters, because you can leverage great scores into great deals on loans, credit cards, insurance premiums, apartments, and cell phone plans. So Amex has other programs out there that do not require, at a minimum, a credit score. But if you have a perfect credit score, and if your ways to establish a relationship with Amex, and I'll speak about that later on. If your goal is to establish a relationship with Amex, no matter the angle or no matter the nature of their relationship, it's better to have a high credit score. For example, someone with FICO scores in the 620 range will pay about $65,000 more on a $200,000 mortgage than someone with a FICO's over 760. Okay, FICO's and Vantage score are on a 300 to 850 scale, just FYI. So it's important, and the same example happens if you're talking about an auto loan or home equity loan. Okay, so credit scores are very important. So you want to pay attention to that. And I'm not talking about not just the FICO, but also Vantage scores. And this is why you want to constantly look at your credit score. You want to dispute any derogatory items that you believe are false with the 3 credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You want to constantly monitor your credit score. And in some cases, if your credit score is really bad, you want to first go back to a credit builder loan or a secure credit card to beef it up. You want to beef up your credit first, because really it's not worth it to keep applying for Amex card and get denied and having so many hard pulls on your account, right? Because the results will be devastating, because at a time when you're trying to increase your credit score, those nasty hard pulls are bringing it down. You don't want that. Okay, and you also want to pay attention. You want to start having good credit habits. In other words, paying your bills on time, having a light but regular use of your credit accounts. You want to pay your balances in full. You want to avoid closing accounts if you are trying to improve your credit. Let's talk about relationship matters. Now, this is so important, folks. If you're out there, you're listening to me right now, and you have bad or fair credit, and you want to get approved for Amex, you want to pay special attention to this section. You want to take notes. It's very quintessential. It is quintessential that you build a relationship with Amex. So when everybody thinks about Amex, everybody thinks about the credit cards, which makes sense because this is how the company builds its global position as a leader in the market. However, Amex offers other services that you may qualify for without them checking your credit score. For example, you can have a savings account. It's important. Having a relationship with Amex through other ways, it's really important. You can open a savings account. You can open a high yield savings with them. You can open a CD, a certificate of deposits with them. You can open an IRA with them. An IRA is an individual retirement account. This is the kind of account that allows you to save for retirement with tax-free growth or on a tax-deferred basis. And Amex offers the financial security of FDIC insured retirement saving in either a traditional or Roth IRA plan with funds deposited in IRA high yield savings account or IRA certificate of deposit account. You also have the American Express Go program, a fantastic program. And you also have the Amex Global Travel Services. So there are tons of other services that Amex offers. The point I'm trying to make here is that you want to establish the relationship. Once they know you, want to see the transactional history going to and fro your account, they can gauge your financial stability. So what's going to happen is that they're not going to pay too much attention to your credit score anymore. They'll start paying attention to your financial stability, the level of financial security you have. It's very important. So you want to go through their list of services, and you want to find the ones applying to your business or personality or personal lifestyle. Okay, and the main goal is to build a relationship. Okay, folks, very important. I want you to keep that in mind. You want to build a relationship so that gradually, over time, within 3 or 6 months, you're able to couple your perfect relationship with Amex with the financial security you have with a better credit score, and that will help you get approved for an Amex card. Last but not the least, I want you to understand that when you want to go for an American Express card, whether you have bad or fair credit, there are a couple of things you need to do. And in addition to what I've said throughout the show, you basically want to check your free credit score. This is important. There is a website called annualcreditreport.com. This is an account this is a platform rather. This is a website that allows you to check your credit score for free. So why not take advantage of it? Once a year, you qualify, according to a law that Congress passed a long time ago, to a free credit score. So you can apply for a free credit score from Experian, from TransUnion, and from Equifax. And you want to constantly pay your bills on time. Whether you get approved for Amex or do not get approved, you want to continue paying your bills on time. If the opportunity arises, please pay down debt. Very important. Pay down debt. You want to avoid new hard inquiries on your account. Any accounts that you have, like what I'm trying to say is that you want to stop applying for credit cards unnecessarily. You want to go for credit cards or loans that have something called a pre-qualification process. That way, you're not wasting your time. You're not having those nasty hard pulls making your FICO score lose weight. You don't want that. Okay, and you also want to get help building credit. There are tons of resources out there. I've said it before, including secured credit cards or secure loans or credit builder loans or credit builder credit cards. So this is important. And one thing I want to say here is that at the end of the day, nobody can predict how long it will take Amex to accept you for bad or fair credit. But one thing for sure, if you apply religiously all the steps I've given you in today's show, you will actually qualify for an Amex card in no time. In no time, really. And it's one of those things you have to be patient with, but you have to be thorough. Very important. All right, folks. This is it for today's conversation. I was just explaining to you how to get approved for Amex with bad or fair credit. So first, I spoke to you about the card typology. You have to know the different kinds of cards. Then the low-hanging fruits. Setting the foundation. Credit score matters. Relationship matters. And I gave you a free addendum to explain to close everything off. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.